Hey guys. Alright, so this week, new Ghostbusters. The movie hasn't come out yet, so Doug isn't exactly sure what he needs, but what he does know is that he needs the proton packs and the costumes for the new Ghostbusters. So I ordered the costumes and they're in, and so we're going to have to doctor them up to make them look more like the new costumes. And then we have to build 4 proton packs from scratch. So, come on to the workbench and let's talk about it. Alright, so as I said, we know we got to build the 4 proton packs and we need the new updated costumes. I couldn't find the actual new costume, like on a Halloween type costume yet because it's new. They're not being released until September. So I had to order the old one that only come in male sizes basically. So I tried to get the smallest one I could, but the only one you can get is standard size. So I tried it on, and it fits me pretty good. A little snug, but for the most part, I guess I'm standard. And it doesn't really look much like the new one, the new costume at all. Other than it's got the logo on it. I know it's got like the orange stripes and stuff on it. And I'm not going to be wearing it. There's going to be 4 women wearing the costumes. So they are probably going to be a little big on the actresses that we have. So that part we have to do. And the other thing, obviously, are the proton packs. So I got these images online. So that's cool. I got some really good reference photos, and I'm going to do my best to adhere to the design so it looks pretty close. But I only have a few days to do it, not a ton of money, and I have to build 4 of them. So I have a pile of junk of pieces and stuff like that I'm going to go through, and I'm going to try and cobble something together that looks pretty close to the design. And then once I have that, I just have to repeat it 3 more times. So, yeah, let's get cracking. Got a lot of stuff to do. Oh, I'm gonna need a lot of coffee. Let's go. All right, so here's my pile of bits and pieces of junk. I've got a lot of pieces of PVC, electrical boxes, fittings, little containers, yeah, all kinds of junk, tubing, and we're gonna try and cobble this together. I bought 4 backpacks, and yeah, let's try and make something. All right, so this is the basic gist. This is kind of based on the parts that I have. I think this is the closest we're gonna get, and it didn't take me long to kind of put this together. But I don't think I have enough of these pieces. I might have to get a couple more of these boxes, I think. I'll add a few other odds and ends and some wires and stuff like that. I'd like to actually make this light up if I can, but if I have time, hopefully. That would be cool. I think if I could get that to light up, get some kind of a red LED battery powered light or something that I could put in there. Cool, that didn't take too long. So yeah, should be able to knock a couple of these out. All right, so as you can see, it's kind of finished. Lights up, looks kind of cool. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna get a chance to do all the little odds and ends I'd like to do on it, but for now, I still have to finish 3 more of them. So yeah, I think it looks pretty good. With the light up, and its light up kind of thing has a few different features. So yeah, I still have the costumes and stuff like that to finish too, the jumpsuits, so. All right, so here are the 4 proton packs completed. I didn't really do all that I would have liked to have done to them, but they need to get done. It's pretty late, and I have a few other things I have to do. Thanks to Rob for coming in and giving me a hand. You saw some footage, whatever. He's helping glue some of the last few pieces on and helping me do some of the painting and stuff like that for the wands and stuff. Yeah, overall, I think they turned out pretty good. Oh yeah, like I said, I got a few costume things to take care of still. The costumes, all the jumpsuits are done. We just put the tape on and stuff. And yeah, I think that's about it for today. It's about all I can do physically and mentally. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things go in the morning. It's going to be a long shoot. It's going to be an early morning, so yeah. All right, so the shoot went really well. I think everybody was really happy with the way they turned out. The actresses were happy, Doug was happy, and I think ultimately they looked great on film. So I'm very pleased. However, I know that while I was building, I didn't go into a lot of explanation as to what some of the parts were that I used in the process. I just have a lot of footage of me building and not a lot of explanation, I guess. So a big part of that was I was just trying to get them done as quickly as possible. Most of the time I'm by myself too, so I just have the camera set up, so I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just thinking about what I'm doing. I'm just building, and But now I'm going to go into a little bit of explanation as to some of the parts that I used and why I used them and so forth. Most of it was out of necessity. It was either things that I had or I could get easily or quickly because I had to make 4 of the packs. But one of the obvious ones that most people spot right away or whatever is the colander. As soon as I saw the pack, I knew that that's what I was going to use, so I went to the dollar store and I bought 4 colanders. You know, I just gave them like a flat black paint with a dusting, kind of a light coat of a nickel finish, kind of metallic gray, and they're a cheap enough plastic that when you turn the light on inside, they still illuminate pretty brightly. It kind of shines right through. I did drill some extra holes and stuff like that along the sides so that the light kind of peered through a little bit better. The light inside is actually, here's one that's kind of falling apart. The light inside is actually just an emergency light, and I think you can kind of see me setting them up on the behind the scenes or whatever. Got some different settings. Yeah. I was able to access it. I had cut a hole in the back so that I could press the button and program. So a lot of the pieces that are lighter are just glued to this EVA foam. And the EVA foam is mounted to some MDF board to give it some, rigidness or whatever. And so that I could screw some of the bigger components or run zip ties and stuff like that through it. To attach things like the colander and stuff like that. I didn't want to glue that on because I knew if I get bumped or something it might pop off, or even the light is just zip tied on. Things like where the cable was going to go or how the wand was going to attach, I wanted to make sure that I could screw that down. And then this electrical box, which is one of the few items that has some actual weight to it, I wanted to make sure that I could screw on also. These blue boxes, initially was going to use a bunch of them for the build, but I only had 3 or 4 total, and I just wanted to get building as quickly as possible, and they weren't quite the size that I wanted. They were a little bit big for the design and everything. So I remembered I had a bunch of these foam blocks from the dollar store. Buy a pack of them, like a pack of 4 or something like that for $1, obviously. But yeah, so I had a bunch of these, obviously super lightweight, and I just covered them with a metallic tape and spray painted them to give them a bit of a burnished or kind of like worn look. I just gave them kind of a light dusting of gray, or black rather, kind of a flat black, and that kind of, it still has a like metallic quality, but it looks dirtied up and stuff. So, and obviously things like the PVC to replace the copper tubing and everything. And yeah, this is just a piece of tubing with some duct tape and electrical tape to make the kind of emergency sort of sticker on there. Things like the circuit board, I just have a bunch of circuit boards lying around. Just, things. Just glue it on there, gave it some texture and stuff. Initially I wanted to add all kinds of little piping and tubing and stuff onto them, but I just really didn't have the time. So just adding the circuit board gave it some texture. And yeah, things like, I think you can see the yogurt container. So that just glued on there and spray painted. The whole thing is zip tied to a backpack so that if I wanted to, I could reuse the backpack again and stuff. And yeah, it's just zip ties that go through here. I had a belt then that kind of strapped around their waist. That's basically it for the pack itself. And then the wands were pretty simple too. It's just PVC tubing in various sizes, and I drilled some holes to give it that look. Initially, I was going to have a grip here, so I didn't continue the holes. Things like the grip too. I never had an official grip. I was going to get some grips to put on it. Just didn't do it. But this is just an electrical box, electrical connector box with PVC piped in there. This piece here is actually I think it's a 1/2-inch telescopic coupler for PVC. And then things like the box on there is, this is a container. I think you can see me cutting it up, but it's basically just a container for, like, this one's for tomatoes, fruit and vegetable containers, whatever you get at the store. I have bins full of these that I'm saving for another project. So again, kept the weight down. It has a neat texture, and once it's painted and stuff like that, you kind of blends right in, whatever. So things like mounting the wands to the packs. Initially, Doug said, he's like, I don't think they're gonna need to have them slung. I don't think there are gonna be any scenes where I'm pulling them out. If we do, we can always just cut to it. Like, you know, they already have them there and they pull them out. And there was a few scenes where they have to have them slung if they're using both hands and stuff like that. So what I wound up doing on set, you can kind of see it in the behind the scenes, is I just added an elbow with a couple pieces of PVC. Yeah, I just attached like that, and then there's a hole here for the other piece of conduit that just slips on there like that, and that kind of held it in place. So, and it worked out fine. So cool. Yeah, things like the jumpsuits, I know I didn't go into a lot of detail about that either. Rob actually came in and gave me a hand when we, basically it was just the orange tape, the same orange tape that is, yeah, same orange duct tape, 2 strips of orange duct tape with a thinner strip of white that I put in the middle of each one. And the reason why I didn't use reflective is because we were going to be shooting on the green screen, and I didn't want it to possibly reflect, or in the lights and stuff like that, be too distracting on camera. So I just went with the white. You know, that was kind of a quick thing. It was like last minute, I was like, I have to do these costumes. So the orange duct tape and the white duct tape took care of that. And it really only lasted the duration of filming, and they started to already kind of fall off and stuff like that. So if I was going to make a long-term one, or if you're going to make a cosplay, I wouldn't recommend using duct tape. I would use some kind of fabric and stitch it on and stuff like that. So, but that's about it. Yeah, again, thanks so much for watching. Yeah, if you like these videos, click like, tell your friends about it. As long as you guys keep watching them, I'll keep making them. The next week's episode actually is going to be a continuation of the Mad Max series that I'm doing. So tune in for that, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.